Budget deal.
I thought this was a wonderful opportunity to
318 is the budget deal.
give you a chance. Oh, you're so right. Is everybody where they can see, hear, and so on? Welcome.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
You too.
So I'll say a couple of words and then we can ask some questions. After a fairly long and difficult process, late last evening, we were able to come to an agreement that I think will accomplish what needed to be accomplished to protect education and to achieve a balanced budget and to bring this issue to closure. I was here until about 2 o'clock in the morning, but the agreement was reached a little earlier than that. And work is being done as I speak to put the finishing touches on language. And it is my hope and expectation that the Senate Finance Committee will meet today and vote it out, and Senate caucus will, or the Senate legislature will vote and pass it, and that following that, the House will concur, and this will be the final action in order to make sure that we have a balanced budget. I am proud of the fact, and I think we all should be pleased, that Ohio is continuing its commitment to education. While other states are having great difficulty in not cutting education, we are continuing our commitment to education at every level in Ohio. And I think that's important because of Ohio's need to have a high-quality system of education, an affordable college system, and it is so closely tied to Ohio's economic future that I think it not only has been, is, but must continue to be the #1 priority for our state. So I'll stop talking and give any of you who wish to ask questions a chance to ask, and I'll do my best to answer.
Governor, how difficult was it for you to give up or to at least delay your all-day kindergarten proposal?
But we haven't given up all-day kindergarten. In fact, I think what's being done here is fully consistent with what I have said all along, and that's that we do not want to set our schools up for failure. We want to help them to succeed. I have said from the very, very beginning that if schools could justify why they would seek a waiver, that we would look kindly upon that. I think what we've accomplished in this compromise is potentially going to lead to even a better result than if we had not reached it, because one of the things that we are now requiring of schools that ask for a waiver is to have a resolution passed by that local Board of Education with justification for what why the waiver is being requested, and secondly, to submit to us detailed plans as to how they plan to have all-day, everyday kindergarten implemented by 2012. And I think this could potentially be very, very helpful in our efforts to get all-day, everyday kindergarten available throughout our state. So I think what's happened here is fully consistent with, and many of you have heard me talk about this. I've said, we're not going to require kindergarten classes to be held on the sidewalk if there's not classroom space, and so on and so forth. We're going to be very, very reasonable, but we are going to maintain the requirement that a waiver be requested, that justification be provided, and that a implementation plan be a part of that waiver request.
So do you look at this as victory in the way you get your proposal freeze the income tax cut this year, plus construction reform which you champion? I mean, at the end of the day, thinking about it this morning, is this victory for Ted Strickland?
Well, I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about it this morning. I don't want this to be declared as a victory for me and a loss for someone else. I think this is but the latest example of a bipartisan solution to what was a very contentious issue. And I suppose both sides will find ways to describe it that will be advantageous to their point of view. And I can only tell you that I think this is a victory for Ohio. I think it's a victory for our schools. I think we are all winners as a result of the conclusion that we have reached here. I do believe that we were facing a cataclysmic event if an agreement had not been reached. As I said to you 2 or 3 days ago, I wish I was crying wolf. I wish it was a false alarm, but it was very real, and a failure to reach an agreement, in my judgment, would have destroyed our ability to apply for Race to the Top funds. It would have caused us to deal with almost unimaginable consequences for our K through 12 system as well as our higher education system. We could potentially have lost billions of federal resources, not just simply having to deal with the $851 million shortfall. I'm not saying that would have happened, but the potential was certainly there if we had had to reduce education by $851 million. I think that would have seriously threatened our ability in regard to federal stimulus, and that's what we tried to say. And let me say one other thing. I am especially thankful to the business community for their part in bringing a resolution to this crisis. Certainly our friends in the education community and our public library system advocates were very, very helpful. But when the Ohio Business Roundtable and the Ohio Chamber of Commerce and the Ohio Farm Bureau and the Ohio Association of Retail Merchants and the Ohio Manufacturers Association, when these groups, which quite frankly tend to be, I'm trying to change it, quite frankly, but they tend to be a little more Republican in their orientation. When they got behind my suggestion regarding delaying the final phase of the tax cut, I think that was very, very helpful to bringing about a final resolution. And individual business leaders were engaged in making phone calls and then advocating for this crisis to be brought to a resolution. And so I'm very, very grateful that